I apologize. I apologize.
No. I accept his apology. He's a good kid.
WWE Chairman Vince McMahon has been running the WWE for almost 4 decades. In that time, he's seen highs and lows as well as scandals and misdemeanors.
They live this life, son.
Oh my God, you can't believe. Oh, can you see that look? I mean,
He's had a fantastic relationship with some superstars such as The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels and John Cena, as they're basically family to Vince. However, some superstars like CM Punk, Hulk Hogan and The Ultimate Warrior have had notable bust-ups with the WWE chairman.
I could not wait to fire him.
Over the years, a number of stories have surfaced in relation to Vince McMahon's relationship with his current and former talent, and Vince actually has a surprising ability to admit when he's wrong and apologized for his wrongdoings. But which times were they? Well, join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 9 times Vince McMahon was forced to apologize. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists.
I apologize, you son of a...
Number 9. The Revival. FTR, who are formerly known as The Revival in the WWE, have shared a lot of stories in relation to their relationship with Vince McMahon during their time in WWE. One of the more notable stories from the duo came during their appearance on Vicky Guerrero's podcast. On the podcast, Vicky and the duo would discuss how the WWE system is completely flawed and broken. They would share details as to how Vince McMahon apologized to them, and they believe that this was because Vince himself realized just how broken the creative system in WWE truly is. When the top of the pyramid itself tells you that the system is broken, you can be rest assured that it is broken. In our very last meeting with Vince, he actually apologized to us because the system was broken. And the crazy thing is, Vince wants to hear those ideas, whether he wants to use them or not. Just like everyone, he wants to hear those ideas. Number 8. Mark Henry. When former world champion Mark Henry appeared on Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull sessions, he shared a number of stories regarding his time in WWE. And one story he shared involved Vince McMahon himself. It would reveal that after SmackDown one week, he was booked to face Sin Cara in a dark match. However, for whatever reason, Sin Cara never appeared. This made Henry more and more frustrated as he waited for Sin Cara to appear. In the end, Henry stormed backstage and demanded answers. It turned out that all the crew members had already left and that they pulled a prank on Henry. Henry was absolutely furious and he actually called Vince to share his frustrations.
He's like, look, I apologize. I don't want you to quit. You're too valuable to us.
Vince would actually apologize to him and would urge Henry to use this anger ahead of his Hall of Pain storyline, which was about to just go underway in WWE. This storyline would go on to be Henry's pivotal and most memorable storyline and would even lead to Henry winning the world title in September of 2011. Number 7. Martha Hart. The death of Owen Hart in 1999 was tragic in every sense of the word. Owen was still one of WWE's biggest stars at the time and still had the rest of his life ahead of him. Many fans believed that Owen would have eventually become WWE champion, as he was one of the most charismatic and gifted wrestlers to ever grace the squared circle. But due to the nature of Owen's passing, Owen's wife Martha Hart submitted a wrongful death lawsuit against the WWE and Vince McMahon. It was believed that during the settlement hearing, Vince apologized to Martha and offered to take care of the family. However, Martha doesn't actually believe that Vince was genuine in his apology and hoped that money would make the issue go away. Unfortunately, Vince's apology did nothing to help fix the relationship between Hart and Vince, as she continues to not allow WWE to use Owen's likeness on WWE properties such as video games and merchandise. Number 6. Ryback. Ryback had an interesting career in WWE. What started off with extreme popularity quickly fizzled out to a point of where none of the fans cared about his character. Since Ryback left the WWE in 2016, the former IC champion has been very open in relation to his time in the company.
Why did the old man want you in trunks? We're all meatheads. That was my answer.
One story Ryback would share involved Vince McMahon personally apologizing to Ryback for a bad storyline idea in 2013. During a segment on his podcast, Ryback would reveal, "Jericho is going to call me Cryback," and they wanted it to catch on. And I was like, we're just gonna do this? How are we gonna go from that to this, like in a course of a week? And then it was just one of those things that I wish I had not done in all seriousness. The following week, Vince apologized to me and him at the office, and I don't remember the details of it and everything. Vince just said, "I apologize, it was a bad idea."
With the amount of sobbing that you're doing right now, they should probably change your name from Ryback to Cryback.
Number 5, the McMahon family apologizes to the WWE audience. On an episode of Raw in 2018, the entire McMahon family came to the ring and would apologize to the audience for how poor the WWE product had been.
We're out here tonight because we haven't been doing a very good job for you lately.
It was one of the most bizarre segments in Raw history, as nothing had ever been done like this before. The segment was split into a non-kayfabe side and a strict kayfabe side. The non-kayfabe side had the apology for the poor product attached to it by Vince, Shane, Stephanie and Triple H, whereas the non-kayfabe elements involved the McMahons announcing that they would once again be running Raw moving forward as on-screen authority figures. Number 4, Mickie James. The most recent entry on this list involves the treatment of WWE legend Mickie James. Shortly after Mickie's release in April, she would take to social media to share an image of her WWE belongings being delivered to her home in a trash bag. Fans found the act on behalf of the WWE absolutely disgusting, as this was no way to treat any WWE superstar, never mind a legend such as Mickie. As a result of the backlash, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H would tweet out public apologies and would even state that the person responsible was fired. Fast forward a few weeks later and Mickie would appear on Gore TV and reveal that she received a call from Vince McMahon to directly apologize to her and reveal that the trash bag wasn't a representation of what he thought about her.
Vince called me on the phone to apologize, for this instant, because Vince has always been respectful to me.
Number 3, WWE Fans in the UK. The WWE network was heavily delayed in debuting in the UK in 2014. This outraged fans in the UK as they felt like they were being abandoned and the WWE simply didn't care about them. The majority of this outrage came via social media, and at one stage it got so bad that Vince McMahon had to record an apology video to be shared on WWE social media platforms. In the video, Vince would state, "On behalf of WWE, I want to personally apologize for the delayed launch of the WWE network here in the UK. There's no one more important than each and every one of you in the WWE universe, especially here in the United Kingdom, where we've shared so many great memories together. We appreciate your patience as we work through the details and the rollout on potential partnerships. I assure you that we are working day and night to launch the WWE network as quickly as possible, and I promise you that the WWE network will be well worth the wait."
Again, thank you for your understanding.
Unfortunately, the apology did little to help, as 2 weeks later at the Raw and SmackDown tapings in Liverpool, the crowd hijacked the show with "Where's our network?" chants throughout. Number 2, Bret Hart. The Montreal Screwjob is one of the most infamous incidents in pro wrestling history. I'm sure a lot of you know the backstory, where Vince McMahon orchestrated a plan to get the WWE title off Bret at the '97 Survivor Series out of fear that Bret would take that title to WCW, where he'd just signed. Now, there are a lot of split opinions on the Screwjob itself.
I truly believe that Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart.
With one WWE legend, being The Undertaker, being unable to fathom what had occurred. According to The Undertaker himself, he ordered Vince to go up to Bret in his locker room and apologize. It's believed that Vince going up to Bret and apologizing is what actually led to Bret punching him right in the face and giving the WWE chairman a black eye. And number 1, CM Punk. CM Punk leaving the WWE in 2014 became one of the biggest talking points of the past decade. Punk would have a private meeting with Vince McMahon and Triple H after the 2014 Rumble and would inform the duo that he was incredibly unhappy with how things were going in the company and that he was leaving. Over the next few years, a number of instances between the two parties escalated the tension and bad blood, and the biggest one of these took place on Punk's wedding day. Punk was set to marry former WWE Divas champion AJ Lee, and on their wedding day, Punk received his official termination papers from WWE. Punk believed that this was a deliberate act on the part of WWE, and it wasn't a huge coincidence. However, when Vince appeared on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast in late 2014, he would apologize to Punk, and Vince stated that it must have been a mix-up with departments as to why Punk received his termination papers on one of the most important days of his life.
I would like to do this. I would like to apologize.
When Punk appeared on Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast, he outright rejected Vince's apology and would state, WWE purposefully and maliciously tried to ruin a day that is supposed to be special. I don't want to hear that the lawyers didn't talk to talent relations. I talked to Hunter on the 11th of June, and on the 13th overnight, I got a document from FedEx that was dated the 12th. Punk then added that he believed that the apology was a publicity stunt. If the apology was sincere, you wouldn't use it as a publicity stunt on Austin's podcast. You have my number, you have my address. You could text, you could call, you could show up when you're a 10-minute drive from my house and apologize to me like a man.
I think that there are a lot of things that he may say that he may regret one day in terms of looking back at it. I hope that one day, we'll be able to get back together again.
Well, there you have it, folks. 9 times Vince McMahon was forced to apologize. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.